Hey, what's up guys, Lou here, and right now I'm going to narrate a short story written by yours truly. This time around it takes place in ancient Mesopotamia, so think of the Middle East, Anatolia, aka modern Turkey, and Syria, and the time period being around 934 BC. There were many vast kingdoms and empires that predate the Roman and Greek empires, such as the Mitanni, Babylonians, the Syrians, the Egyptians, and the Hittites. You get the idea. One empire in particular, the Assyrians, who at this point were fierce, and the ruler went down in history for not only being ruthless, but incredibly intelligent, even favoring a library in his kingdom. Every place he'd conquer, he would have his people copy their manuscripts and document them in his personal library. Now this story doesn't necessarily focus on anyone in particular from this era, but rather share the same time period and setting. So with that said, I bring you The Blood King. Setting: 934 BC, Mesopotamia. A jealous court of nobles seizes the throne of a once respected king. They burn his place to the ground and murder his wife. In a fit of desperation, he flees on horse, nearly escaping with his life, and carrying his newborn son. Forced into the desert, with no way to support himself or his baby, he gathers whatever supplies he can find, but none of it lasts. His last resort, although morbid, is the only way to sustain his starving child. In desperation, he cuts his fingers, deep enough to bleed, and with this very blood, he feeds his baby. He does this for what seems like an eternity, barely sustaining his own life, while living in seclusion and surviving off wild animals. He resorts to teaching his son, in a primitive way, to hunt, killing fierce and feral animals throughout the desert, surviving only through the hunt, whatever the wild nature brings him. Without the comfort of royal cooks, they adapt to the wild, even going as far as shaving their teeth into points to compete with whatever wild animal crosses their path. And sometimes an unfortunate traveler, in the wrong place at the wrong time. Years go by, and the king, nearing his deathbed, hopes the best for his son, who is now nearing adulthood. Before leaving this earth, the king names him and sends him on his way. My son, my heir, I name you Nosferatu. Avenge me and drink the blood of our enemies. May you walk this earth for eternity. After addressing his son, the king passes. And from that moment on, a legend is born. The end. Well, there you have it, guys. That's my short story, The Blood King. It's short, I know, but I think it gets to the point. The name Nosferatu, I obviously got from the legendary vampire, and his story, which is kind of the same, goes hand in hand with Dracula. I just did a Mesopotamian, Middle Eastern spin on this tale. Like I said, obviously it doesn't follow any certain stories, kind of, takes and borrows from different legends and, ancient stories that I'm sure that were probably told back then. If anything, I think it made an interesting, read, or tale, I guess. So, I hope you guys liked it. What I plan to do is try and release these on a weekly basis. I just don't have the time for that. So the story behind this is I just don't have time to write feature-length scripts like I used to. It's just too time-consuming, and my life is, getting pretty busy right now. So I figure I could, compile my ideas and do little short stories like this. At least it's something, right? It's different. It's not me complaining about the wrongdoings of our government and so on. I figure it's a break from that, and I could interject history into it. So, if anything, you kind of learn something. If you did, great. If you knew it already, that's great too. I hope you like the tale, I hope you like, a little history and backstory with your thriller and horror tales. So, once again, it's my short story, The Blood King, written by me. And just, let me know what you think. Thanks for listening. Until next time, peace.